I'm shocked. Oh no. He about to get his pockets ran.
Come out and face me, Risley!
And there he go, 10 toes.
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether.
Let me find out you sat here and diced her in fucking primordial seawater, Risley. I'm gonna really run your
Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
My man Lenny is tight right now.
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
Where are Lynette and Fremine?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea.
That sounds ominous.
Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
That nigga gonna drown outside. Damn.
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you.
Please let it be a fight.
I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, If she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
If she does refuse, she'll be pretty crazy to do so, but it would be lined up with how Child and Wander have been talking about her.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
What you mean by that?
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Linny!
Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do this? I said that right.
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5...
He counting down.
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Don't you walk away from me, nigga. Please wait. Can we really not talk about this some more?
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Please spare them niggas. I know they are dastardly niggas and they from the Fatui. I know. I rock with at least one of them. But that's only because we fight. But like, bro, spare them other two niggas. Say no.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Damn.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I can't believe he's asked about the forbidden rules. If I recall correctly, you can't keep working without any rest. During lunch on the 3rd day, you'll find a portion of strange meat in your welfare. It's a good thing that I've already ran through an investigation on this. Let's see if I can remember all the clues. I should be able to find the answer if I can piece everything together.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us.
Now, okay, that makes sense why the meat looks so strange. It's because her perception of the meat seems normal to her, but to us, it looks weird.
The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
The hidden rules, I remember. If someone tries to support both boxers at the same time, they'll receive a package the next morning, which contains a strange blood-colored liquid, which is most likely Fontaine, the product. Another product they were trying to pounce out. So let me...
Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
We haven't collected enough info to answer that question.
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley. You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind.
Lenny?
You'll pay for this!
Oh, let's get into it. He got hit in the neck.
Lenny, are you alright?
How he get hit? What hit him? He got slapped to the floor.
Close one. I owe you, Sijuin.
Is she a bow user?
Fantastic shot.
She's a bow user.
Nothing, Your Grace.
Is that a blick? She got a blick on her? Oh my god. She got the tool on her. She pulled it out her purse. She got the strap on her. She a nurse and a killing ass nigga. Now this dude about to get hit in the fist with a metal gauntlet. Oh my god.
Sijuin?
She got a blick on her. Oh my
This
goodness.
gun may look like a toy. It's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
So it is a gun.
Lane. You.
Are you his accomplice in this all this?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties.
But if if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
If you're close with Neuvillette, why not learn a thing or two about virtue from him?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sigewing, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want, but let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewing, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Oh my god.
Some
One.
space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande.
She folded this nigga. Either he drowned outside, or damn near drowned, or she beat his ass and knocked him out unconscious and threw him on the floor. Look at the dude. Knocked out, cake tooted up in the air like a bitch. Crazy.
Fremine. Fremine.
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
So,
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
stop it. This dude quick to strangle the life out your little neck. Stop it.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
These symptoms. It can't be.
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
Oh my god. This nigga gonna die, bro.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
What happened? How did he ingest it? This is getting crazy by the second. Who should I go talk to? Lenny's expression looks disgusted. It seems like he'd rather not have Sigewing touch Fermine. Still, he did not stop her, since it's obvious that Fermine does require urgent medical care. Sigewing is examining Fermine carefully. She doesn't look too upset, which is a good sign. I hope Fermine will be okay.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical.
If he is from Fontaine, like the rest of them, he might not make it.
Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Lin has finally begun to stop tensing the muscles in his face. It seems he trusts what Sejuani just said. Of course, that nigga on 11 right now. Boy, so out of it, he can't even talk right now. Why that's going up? Dang, I can't get upstairs.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sejuani may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again.
Let's be honest, that dude think it is head. Shoot, this fine ass female specimen, this bad bitch of the nation, who is the strongest of the champion duelists. Damn, her fine ass. Shoot, you finally got here. Damn, I've been waiting to see you all day long. That's exactly what this fool thinking.
How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly.
Oh, damn.
I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
So the water outside has been diluted with primordial seawater. That means the nation's water has been... Oh my goodness. If that's the case, that means if the entire nation ends up flooding, that means primordial seawater would infect the entire water. And if the water is to continue to rise, it would legitly flood up like a spring, and everyone would dissolve into water like that on the snap of a finger.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Just pitch your game, Risley.
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
And she picked up on it. She was like, "You want some tea with me, nigga? You should just be upfront about it."
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Shoot, if you want to dry your hair, you could go back to his room with him, if you know what I mean. Let's be honest.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
Where those two going at?
My
They going
hands
upstairs?
and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone. Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fermine? Is he... He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
They took him to the infirmary. You good, bro?
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
I like that arm slouch position.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Very well.
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
Yeah, they went upstairs for a bang session. That's what they went upstairs for.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
Clarence saved Fermine from the sea. Just what happened there? And where that nigga Child at? He's the only nigga left that's just up there and dipped out of here, and we don't know where he at. I'm coming upstairs, nigga. Here these two go chatting it up and all. Y'all look like a bang session about to
Could
go
I
on.
tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
That's it? Nice office, bro.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Yeah, man.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
Yeah, because you didn't really play much of a story or play much of a role in Act 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 seem like you doing your thing.
The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened to you after you snuck into the pipes?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Ooh, are we flashbacking and playing as him in his flashback? Or is it an animated cutscene? Please don't black screen this and then have some BS of them just talking. It better show me something. I want to see something crazy. I want to see something worthwhile. Please don't BS. Please, for the love of everything that's good, don't BS.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be?
Please tell me I get to play as him. Please. Please. Yeah, let's go. This is so tough. I'm loving this. No box. What weapon he got? Okay, 2000 attack, damn. He repping this? This is interesting. He got this entire set on him. 3 constellations. 1188. Makes sense. Oh, this is awesome. I love playing flashbacks.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Wait, is he implying that Child may be putting primordial seawater into regular seawater? But why is it almost making it sound like Child is, because it was like Child is obsessed to get into this area, and and from how they was talking about him, he seemed like he was so obsessed to get over here, and seeing all this primordial seawater underneath this area, it almost seems like Child may be deliberately doing this himself, and that he possesses it, and we still not been told what the it is. We don't know what the it is. The it could be something that he is in possession of.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
And how do it suppose I go about doing that? What's the location? But anyway, it's like I got a strange feeling that child is possessed. Something is making him go do his. But also, why is there part? It's like, what is child up to in here? He said he has to find it. And all that other BS. We have to go down.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Well, let's do this. Where could he have gone?
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. Oh, there are traces here too. I need to keep going.
Showing that he brushed up against it, and the life.
The traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Come on for me.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Dang, this is tough, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, where did that nigga go? Did he dissolve into water? He couldn't have. Please let me go investigate that gate. I gotta find it. They gotta let me investigate it. Cause this is getting wild. I gotta know more. I need more.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more rest. Miss Lynette is right. I I believe Miss Cloran will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
No, they're gonna stay here with their brother.
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Lenny.
I'm also really sorry, Lenny. I should have been more careful.
Don't say that. It was all my fault. I was the one who should have been more careful. You two were nearly...
If I was stronger, maybe I would have already found Master Child.
No, how can you say that?
Huh?
I'm sorry.
What I'm hearing is, we all dropped the ball at some point during the mission. So the responsibility falls on all of us. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's on all of us.
Lenny, we understand that you're worried about us, but we're worried about you as well. Please don't blame yourself. We want you to keep your spirits up.
Yeah.
Excuse me!
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Seedling?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Yeah, get talking, nigga.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please enlighten us as much as you like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorant down here?
He did, obviously.
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
AKA, these two characters sound like they work good together on a team. So, whenever she gets released, she's hopping on the team with my boy over here, the big dog over here.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone exists.
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yes, and be honest.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes. Nigga, I'm unraveling the truth of your world that you exist in, nigga. I'm 500 years deep in the neck in your world already. Tell me your secrets.
Follow me.
Something crazy better happen. That's all I know. What that nigga? Niggas also, are you sure you want to know? Nah, what you think? We 500 years deep into your world. Tell me all the secrets. Underground passage.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Yes, more secrets to be found downstairs. Why it got dimmer down here?
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
We're going down. This is interesting. So this is the Forbidden Zone. Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. And that is...
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
I'm not telling these niggas about this.
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Oh, so there's wind blowing in here? I don't know how that's possible. Oh, it's... No, it doesn't make sense. That's not a... There's no vents. How is wind blowing? I really want to know what's in here.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Something crazy about that, but it's a 3-layered door.
Whoa. They all just went up one by
What's in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
It's primordial seawater, isn't it? It's the only thing that makes sense. It has to be primordial seawater. Because Fontaine was just in an area like this. This room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive, sluicious gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
It's primordial
The
seawater.
temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fontaine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater keeps continually. Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But how, though?
What? Forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh.
She just realized it.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us.
Oh, damn.
The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the primordial sea is leaking through, if this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the Sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So at the Duke of Metropede, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
And what's that? Don't tell me the Gnosis is actually here. I'd be shocked if the Gnosis is actually here. So that means Igeria knew that the primordial seawater would dissolve the people of Fontaine. So that's why she sent them niggas. Y'all niggas gonna defend this gate.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
So they've been working here.
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Yeah, we have Ed who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Y'all are crazy.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Oh damn.
Ooh, are they together?
What? Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Let's be honest, yes they are. They seeing each other.
There's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
She just gets surprised real easily. That's all.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
They're constructing. What are they constructing?
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Oh
Not much at all.
my good Lord Jesus Christ. Are we about to have a Noah's Ark happen in Acts 5 and 6? Because these niggas are constructing an ark.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria.
Oh my god.
To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
It's Noah's Ark. Good Lord.
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Yep.
Do you believe that too?
Yes.
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Thank goodness you
Were
did.
you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
I'm shocked. Homeboy is in the constructions of Noah's Ark. That's what this is. He's constructing Noah's Ark. I don't care what they call it, the legendary Fortuna. Nigga, it's an ark. Dumbass. Get it right. Stuff about to get wild in Fontaine. I better see a whole scene where the entirety of Fontaine is legitimately flooded and submerged underwater. And on top of that, I better see a scene where it's going across all the nations, where the water is flooding. Because if they're about to have a biblical flood on a worldwide scale, because in Genshin's lore, at least in their world lore,
I'll leave you here for now.
at least in Genshin's world lore, they've experienced at least 2 worldwide floods over the entire continent of Tevat. Not 1, not 2, I think at least 3, and they about to be on their 4th one.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my action will decide the next step Lynn groups take. In other words, if I want to tell Lynn the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.